Well, Megan Thee Stallion says she's being harassed by the man who shot her, even though he's in prison. She's asking the court for a restraining order against rapper Tory Lanez, who is currently behind bars, serving a 10-year prison sentence for shooting her back in 2020. He's appealing that conviction. She's also alleging in court document that Lanez is orchestrating a harassment campaign through surrogates, including blogger Milagro Cooper. The Grammy-winning rapper, whose legal name is Megan Pete, has also filed a lawsuit against Cooper alleging defamation, cyberstalking, and infliction of emotional distress. ABC News did reach out to Lanez and Cooper's reps for comment, but no response so far. Joining us to talk about it, Sirius-XM radio host Mike Muse, also our legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmire. All right, Mike, the original case really riled up the hip-hop community. Let's kind of walk through the history between these two and how we even got to this point.
Yeah, so it's interesting enough, Kira, how you perfectly said in your lead-in how this is happening in the blog sphere in terms of harassment, intimidation, with bloggers acting on Tory Lanez's behalf while he is inside of prison. The blog sphere is exactly what ignited and amplifies this case to be of such cultural intrigue. Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion at one point were dating. At this time that they were dating, they were coming from a party they were attending in Los Angeles. At the time, there was alleged gun that went off. Megan Thee Stallion was shot in the foot. And since then, we went to trial, and Tory Lanez was found guilty of negligence in shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. But that conversation was never just inside the courtroom. This was such a cultural dynamic of, were you team Tory or were you team Megan? And at the time, there was a lot of people who were team Tory, who did not believe that Megan Thee Stallion was telling the truth. Even after Tory Lanez was found guilty, there was still so much presumption of innocence on behalf of Tory Lanez. And so Megan Thee Stallion had to discuss it in the album that she created much after the court had ended, into which she again stated her position and how much it had impacted her mentally and physically and the damage and trauma that it caused her. But that was because of the way that the blogs were able to carry out this discourse outside the courtroom. And really, Kara, it comes down to the comment section. Today, the blogs are not just about the articles that get posted, but really the commentary that happens beneath the post. And when you look at the comments beneath the post, a lot of them have been very harmful towards Megan Thee Stallion and also to have attacked her credibility, to which is happening right now while allegedly Tory Lanez is in prison having people in the blogosphere do his bidding for him, to which this suit alleges.
When will this ever end? Well, Brian, what kind of evidence will the court consider here? And if the restraining order is granted, could Lanez face additional punishment here?
Well, the court's going to consider the evidence that Megan Thee Stallion is presenting, namely that there's some sort of paper trail, money that was exchanged to Ms. Cooper, the blogger, something to the tune of $3,000 from the course of October of 2020 to, I think, March of 2022, so about just shy of a year and a half. And I think there's going to be a need for additional information. There's going to be to show some sort of communication between Tory Lanez, whether it be indirectly or directly to Ms. Cooper or other bloggers, that he's pointing them in the direction of saying these salacious and defamatory or even wrong statements. But as Mike Muse pointed out, this dialogue was happening without Tory Lanez, and I think a defense might be here that Cooper, along with other bloggers, are just voicing their own personal opinions, and that Tory Lanez is not directing them in any kind of way. That may harm in a restraining order argument for Megan Thee Stallion. In terms of what could happen afterwards, if a restraining order is granted, this is a civil restraining order, so in of itself would not cause any kind of criminal repercussions. But if law enforcement or prosecutors did see this as a criminal harassment, they could add that charge for a separate case. But Tory Lanez is already facing a decade in prison. I don't think they're going to worry themselves with a violation or a small misdemeanor of a crime.
All right, stay tuned. I mean, she's supposed to be protected from him. Yeah, that's why there was this restraining order in the first place. And it's just, we'll continue to follow it, guys. Thanks so much.